man's identity, but I was stumped. He wasn't a director, although he could have been a producer. But why meet up outside New York City when Palm Springs was only a few hours away from Crawford's home in Brentwood? I turned to A Portrait of Joan, Crawford's autobiography, published in 1962. I didn't expect much, but I found something dating to shortly after her divorce from Franchot Tone in April 1939. In New York, I had met a marvelously mature man, one of the best people I've ever known. This man must be nameless because he was never able to get a divorce. He is a business executive, and I respect him thoroughly. Again, I had to settle for a long and lovely friendship. He taught me to hunt and fish. We used to go on these expeditions with a whole group of men. The first time, I'm sure, their reaction was, "Oh no, not a dame tagging along." Carried my own gun and my own camera, waded through streams in the vanguard, and at noon, when we'd camp, I'd help fix lunch and surprise them with all sorts of snacks packed away in my knapsack, just in case they didn't catch any fish. This friend introduced me to politics, to banking, big business, and public affairs. He says I taught him to be brave, to stand up for what he thought was right, to be considerate of other human beings, especially those with whom he was working, and to be generous and giving of himself. I didn't teach him. Those were his instincts. He merely needed someone gently to remind him. That told us some of what the film had already told us, but it didn't offer any hints about Charles's last name. That came through the back door, an item in a Hedda Hopper column from 1940 that carried a whiff of sulfur, as many Hopper columns did. Hopper included the name of Charles McCabe in the cast list of an upcoming Crawford movie. Charles McCabe. Who the hell was Charles McCabe? There were no actors in Hollywood with that name. Perhaps a New York actor? Nope. A quick glance at Wikipedia, and there he was. The same man with Crawford in the footage. Charles McCabe was the publisher of the New York Daily Mirror, a Hearst paper that Woody Allen called a sparse rag that would have gone out of business were it not for the fact it housed Walter Winchell's column. Unfortunately, irrelevance can only be withstood for so long. The Daily Mirror died in October 1963. Hedda Hopper had found out about the affair and wanted Crawford to know she knew. Casey Lalonde called one of McCabe's surviving sons, who told him that after their father's death in 1970, his sons had gone through his papers and found letters from Crawford that made the relationship obvious. McCabe's wife hadn't known about the affair or about any of McCabe's numerous extramarital entanglements. In any case, McCabe had never asked his wife for a divorce. McCabe's sons didn't want their mother to find out about the affair, so they burned Crawford's letters. Joan Crawford died 7 years after Charles McCabe. There were no letters from him in her papers. A relationship with a public figure such as Crawford must have been risky for McCabe, but the footage clearly indicates neither of them cared, while the fact that Crawford kept the movies for the rest of her life indicates the affair was far more than a passing fling. The home movies are a glimpse into the unexpected emotional accessibility of a woman often regarded as ferocious, even by other ferocious movie stars. How did Crawford and McCabe meet? How long did the affair last? We can't be sure, because Joan Crawford could keep a secret, but not all of them. Part 1. I think most of our fears are developed in childhood. All mine came out of childhood. Joan Crawford. I was born working. Joan Crawford. Chapter 1. Almost all star biographies issued by movie studios glossed, elided, or lie.
Para seguir escuchando este audiolibro gratuitamente, haz clic en el enlace de la descripción.